The story of the golden crested cranes. Do you know why they are called the golden crested cranes? Do you know why they have that golden crest on them? This is the story. Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. Hi beautiful people, my beautiful name is Maria Nabukeera and I'm so happy to have you. Thank you for clicking to watch today's video. If it's the very first time you're meeting me, karibu sana, you're welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you for clicking to watch. Remember to subscribe and like if you're a returning subscriber. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. Thank you all for the love. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch. And this is most definitely the Thrilling Tales Corner because the folder is here with us and we are going into it. So buckle up and let's get to the video. So once upon a time, there was a king of Uganda who had a little daughter called Namirembe, which means peace. She was a sweet child and everybody loved her. And as she grew up, she was kind to all her father's subjects and loved all the animals and the birds and the flowers in her father's kingdom. Every year, the king went to the Crested Islands to visit Mukasa, the old wizard, and sometimes he took peace with him. The chief gabbler prepared 2 big war canoes, which were called Waswa and Imbaliga, and a fleet of small ones and hundreds of peddlers to take the king over the blue waters to the Crested Islands. Peace loved the big war canoes with their high red plows ornamented with antelope horns and parrot feathers and shells and beads and strips of leather. At the stern of one of the canoes was the place that the chief had a grass shelter built, and Peace and her nurse sat under this when the sun was hot. The islanders have many songs, and they sing all the time. They are peddling. Sometimes one man sings, and they all join in the chorus, and they keep time with their pedals. They sang this song of Princess Peace. What shall our song to the Princess Peace be? Over the waters to Crested, tell her the wonderful things she will see in our beautiful islands of Crested. Smooth yellow sands, high rocky fells, dark deep forests, cool green dells, and the wizard Mukasa is waving his spells. Away on the islands of Crested, pedals to the left, pedals to the right. Swing them all in the air. How shall we sing on the islands tonight? Because our princess will be there. So one day, Peace asked her father, why do we always have to go to the same island when there are so many in the Great Lake? And the king told her, all islands in the Great Lake do not belong to my kingdom. If we went to the people, to them, the people would kill us. They are another nation, and they have another language. But Peace said, I should like to go and see people who are different from us, and see their customs, and hear their strange language. And her father laughed and said, little princess, do not travel in far countries. There is much for you to learn in your own beautiful land. Still, Peace always thought of other islands and the strange countries that lie beyond the great blue waters of the Great Lake. One morning, very early, Peace was picking up logs under a tree in her father's garden. When a big crane came by, leaning forward, he walked and lifted his feet very high in the queue where all cranes have. He greeted the little princess and told her he was going that day to Kavirondo to see his brother who had fever. Where is Kavirondo? Asked Peace. Far away over the Great Lake, answered the crane. It's a wild country, and the people have strange customs and a language which is hard to understand. Oh, if only I could go with you, said Peace. Why not? Said the crane. If you are not afraid, you can sit on my back, hold on my feathers. My wings will keep up and keep you from falling. If you get giddy, you can shut your eyes. But you must be brave and hold very tightly, for it's a long journey. We cannot stop in the middle. If you let go, you will fall into the great waters and drown. We shall return this evening. Peace climbed on the crane's back. He stretched his long neck, put out his long legs behind him, and they started on their journey. Right over the blue waters they flew, passing the little islands, some of them so small, no one lives on them. Only the diver birds who eat fish make their nests on the rocks. Once they passed a flock of grey parrots with red tails and called them, "Where are you going?" "We are going to Chagwe," they called back, "for we hear that the locusts and wild plums are ripe." Then they left the island far behind, and there was nothing around them but sky and water and golden sunshine. Peace thought it was very beautiful, and she never forgot to hold tight to the crane's feathers and to sit quietly right in the middle of his back. At last, they saw the showers of Kavirondo in the distance, and when they were well over the land, the crane flew downwards. They stopped near a great rock, and Peace got down and looked around her, wondering at all she saw. Great dark hills jutting out into the lake, the plain stretching for miles and miles round her, and beyond it rugged Nandi escarpments, all so strange and different from the great slopes of Uganda. The crane showed her a little crevice in the rock where it was cool and shady, and where she could sit comfortably and look down on the path below and see the people passing and perhaps hear their language. Then the crane flew away to see his sick brother. Peace saw some Kavilondo warriors coming down the path. They wore helmets made from cowrie shells and big branches of ostrich feathers, and they wore no clothes but beads. And Peace was rather shocked, but because they were not having clothes, only beads and shells and tags of leathers. She looked over the plain and saw their villages, several houses together with a big fence around, and fields of grain outside. No green banana gardens or fruit trees or even grass. Then the crane came back and said it was time to return, or they would not reach Uganda before dark. So they started on again over the blue waters towards the setting sun. And when Peace saw the island and the green showers in a distance, she laughed for joy and said, "My beautiful country of Uganda, I shall never want to leave it again." The big islands looked pink below them, and the crane explained that the millet harvest was ripe and the fields looked rose-colored in the setting sun. Then they reached the king's palace, and Peace ran to her father and told him where she had been and all she had seen that wonderful day. The king called the crane and thanked him for taking care of the little princess and said, "I will give you a present of a golden crest with a little black bit at the foot of it, and you shall always wear it in any day to remember this beautiful day. The crane was very pleased and lifted his feet higher than ever when he walked, and all the little cranes who were born after that golden crested crane had golden crests on their heads, and from that time they have been called the golden crested cranes. And if you go to Kavilondo, you will still see the paths by which peace sat. Only now it's a broad road that goes from Kisumu to Mumias. And perhaps you can find the rock on which she sat comfortably, the little crevice that the crane found for her. Thank you so much for watching till this very moment. My name is Maria Nabukeera, and I'm so happy to have you. Thank you so much for always coming back to the Reading Tales Corner with me, Maria, and I'm glad to have you. So thank you so much for being here. We are going to meet again.